for the season. It's the Commanders and the Texans, and it's all just ahead on Madden NFL 23.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Houston Texans and the Washington Commanders. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand, and CD, you look at Washington coming into play here. They're squaring off against a very tough unit to throw against.
And this is not one of the better passing offenses in the league to begin with, Brandon. And to illustrate that point, they're down near the bottom of the power ranking, so the focus is going to need to be on possession-type throws. Whether they're trying to use their running backs or tight ends a little bit more, the big thing is to make sure the quarterback gets it out of his hands quickly to his receivers, and they hope to gain an advantage that way.
Season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Commanders making their way out. And a look here now at their fourth-year quarterback.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
They go play action here on first down. That's out to the flat for Gibson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on the game's first play and a quick first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Now a throw here, hauled in. Looking to throw on second down. Reeves. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
Down to the 42, second down. The numbers on the ground for Gibson a week ago. 14 carries, 80 yards, and a touchdown.
And while he may not verbalize it, in his mind, going up against this defense, one of the worst rush defenses in the league, he's thinking 200-plus in this game.
To throw on second down, Reeves. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver. And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Back to throw. Reeves. And that will be incomplete.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder. You think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the first down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking first down before he caught that football.
Yeah, got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance of picking up a first down.
And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. So here are the Texans now with a long field ahead. Leading him out, the former Stanford man. At quarterback, it's Davis Mills.
And last week's loss came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what sunk them last week resolves itself this time around.
First and 10 now for Mills and the Texans. At their own 11. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they see right through that defensively. as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up.
Well, always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And he'll get this one up to about his 14.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, here's Mills.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Chase Young, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends of what we've seen so far.
The Texans send the punter out. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone.
Westbrook now on the return.
A little juke. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 21 yards, well down on the return.
And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. As the Commanders make their way out on offense, let's take a peek at the playoff picture in the NFC. Well, with 3 weeks left, they are in one of those 3 wild card spots, Charles, but that spot is not clinched, and there's not a ton of breathing room for them, so the bottom line, they just need to focus on winning right now.
Yeah, they totally have their eyes open, don't they? They know they've got teams trying to run them down. They can hear their footsteps. The question coaches ask guys in the locker room, do you have another gear left to pull away and lock in that playoff spot? If so, let's hit it.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Reeves.
Looking for Dotson, and he's got him.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10.
And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. And not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Back to throw. Reeves. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Reeves. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Zach Ertz, his 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Commanders get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The drive summary that time, 5 plays.
And it ends with a Zach Ertz touchdown. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. Fielded right around the 8. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Called it the 26.
So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
A first down throw for Mills.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. On 2nd and 10, Mills firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
This defense for the Commanders, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
Over the middle, complete. That's Cox. And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the first down. A gain of 9, not enough, and it's 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Here's Gibson to start the drive.
And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. To throw on 2nd down. Reeves caught by the tight end Ertz. And he'll be upended at the 18. That's a very helpful pickup of 9 after the play began at the 9.
They'll run with Gibson. And this is going to be a Commander's first down as he's got this up to the 28-yard line.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Looking to throw. Reeves.
Throw right side, taken in by Gibson.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Reeves.
He's got his man. That's Ertz downfield.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Well, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation and sent him on a crossing route. And this works really well where you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Reeves
finding Ertz again. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. On 2nd down, a run with Gibson.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football. They run with Richardson. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35-yard line. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. Off play action. Reeves. He's going to drop this one down to Gibson, and he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
Oh, nice move. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3.
Gibson again.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Gibson here running out of the gun.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
56 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Gibson diving for the end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Point after try forthcoming. And it's good to make it 14-0. That one was an extended drive. 14 plays all told. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
The Texans back out there and ready to go.
They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now.
Mills to throw it.
Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
It's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Now Mills.
Got a man and he hits him in stride. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Mills on 1st down.
Flushed out right.
And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's second down. On second down, it's Burke. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they're dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. We're always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And here comes Westbrook. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Washington's offense ready to go again. There's Antonio Gibson. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Target is to Dotson, and he's got him. And some space here. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
I like watching a wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 41. Back to throw. Reeves. His throw incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. This one left side caught by Gibson. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw again. And that is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a 2-touchdown game.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. The time called here because a member of the Texans is in some discomfort. And not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. So now after the sack, Mills and the Texans needing to navigate a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cox. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
Brandon, it certainly looked like they had that play defended well, but it still almost worked. Got it to the running back. He wound up getting really good yardage out of it, but it was 3rd and long, and they were able to rally and stop him before he could get to the marker.
Here's Mitch Wishnowski now. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Just a 30-yard punt that time. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense set to take over again. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a 1st down. Straight ahead, Gibson. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll go again with Gibson. Takes this to the 45. Got a little space after that nice move. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and the nose of the football. Looking to throw. Reeves. He'll check that down to Gibson out of the backfield. And he's going to have a Commanders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more.
And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders. Antonio Gibson. His 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Commanders take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point attempt here still to come. And it is now 21-0. A drive that time of 6 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here comes the Texans now. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Mills' throw pulled in by Marshall. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Now Mills on 4th down. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. So they tried it. Not only did they not get the first, they fumbled it away.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it went from bad to worse, but I know that everyone's going to pile in on the call and say, well, what are you doing? Why would you go for it there? I think that teams that are convinced that they feel pretty good about their game plan, what they want to get done that day, go for it. Give it a try. Hey, let's see if your defense can rescue them a little bit.
Following the fumble recovery, Reeves. He completes that to Garrett Wilson. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 1st and 10, Reeves. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Throwing on 3rd and long. Reeves escaping the pressure right. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the route is on. It's 24-0. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. The Texans with the football here late in this first half. And with a 3-score deficit staring him in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. Here's Mills. Finds his tight end Ingram. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Mills. Got his man complete. And he coughed it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach. Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling? When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Reeves. He'll rifle this one deep right side, and that is incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw again, Reeves over the middle, brought in by Dotson. And able to get this to the 24-yard line. They began the play at the 12. It's also a pickup of 12 for the first down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And this one is right through. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So able to force the fumble, but then they really couldn't move the football, Charles, and they get 3 points out of it. And they made sure they got something out of that takeaway, didn't they? Because even if they couldn't put it in the end zone, they were not going to turn the ball back to them without putting something on the scoreboard. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number one.
So we've reached halftime here in our nation's capital with the Commanders on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. And those two are tied up as they play the second quarter.
Well, we're in the latter stages of this season. Everybody's getting antsy, so antsy that we're going to skip the halftime and get ready for the third quarter.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
And the half will begin with a touchback.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look.
1st and 10 now for Mills and the Texans.
At their own 25-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Burke, 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Now a handoff up the middle. Cox. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on 1st down quickly negated. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16.
Throwing, Mills.
Taking a shot here for Marshall. He rifles one that's intercepted.
And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half. This carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
First possession of the second half now for Washington. They had the big halftime lead. Their defense just helped them out further by forcing the turnover, so things are starting to look pretty rosy.
They certainly are, but they've got to be careful about getting complacent, though. They still need to go out and run their offense efficiently.
Now a dump off here complete.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. The partner is still in the third quarter, but they've got this one well in hand and still airing it out with gusto and picking up some nice gains.
And even in lopsided games like this, you don't really see starters get lifted or the foot come off the gas before the fourth quarter. No one wants to leave any doubt when they're playing well. They just want to continue the process.
A give up the middle to Gibson.
Oh, what a move.
And they're knocking on the door now. There's a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line. 133 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
On first down, right back to Gibson.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage.
Once more, Gibson.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
From the gun on third down, Barnes. Forced out, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
It's the former number 4 overall pick, Cleveland Ferrell, that got in there to bring him down.
Now on comes the Washington field goal unit. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin the second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
Houston set to take over. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Well, yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
On third down, here's Mills.
And this one is incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 36. They'll score it at a 36-yard punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Here comes Antonio Gibson as he's set for another drive.
He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just got to have a grin on his face every time his number is called, because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays, nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well.
Now, quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Washington going to send out their punter
as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line.
The Texans offense set to regain possession. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And a nice run to get this up over the 20-yard line.
On 3rd and 1, here's Mills. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Chase Young.
Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely, because remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. It was T.J. Edwards who brought him down.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
They run the toss now with Gibson. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 154 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there. And here's a give to Gibson.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
A handoff for Gibson.
He'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air, eluding the pressure right.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
They'll run forward with a fullback, Sherman. It's 1st and goal after they rip off a solid chunk of yardage in the ground game on a risky 4th down call.
Surprised at all that they went with the fullback there?
Not at all, because it harkened back to the days where we watched these games almost in black and white, right? The stocky guy, the strong guy, the powerful guy with leg drive. Give him the football, and even if the blocking isn't perfect, he has the ability to scatter bodies and move people enough to pick up first downs. That's what we just saw right there.
They'll run with Gibson.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington.
Antonio Gibson with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the Commanders extend their lead yet again. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they've built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
From the gun, here's Mills.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Now a timeout called for by the offense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. The Texans send the punter out as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. It sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Barnes. Ertz has it left side.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And this offense on third down today, they've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6. Caught left side, it's Beckham. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
On 1st and 10, Mills. Throw left side complete. That's Cox. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, they just can't get off the ground. And that play, they wound up losing yardage.
13 yards remaining on 2nd down. Mills to throw it. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. On 3rd down, it's Cox. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. 1st down, Mills. And this one too low. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Mills now. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Up the middle they go. It's Cox. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down, seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to the 1st down.
Mills, 4th down, gotta have it. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And Washington will take control of the football in great field position. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Barnes. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun, Barnes. Flush to his right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity. From
the 10. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. A first down throw for Mills. The throw taken in by Cole. Looking to throw again on second down. Mills. He finds his man, complete. That's Cox. On third down, it's Burke. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. And not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. The Texans send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. And this will be taken at the 13. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And they will take over first and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. They run the jet sweep. Dotson. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at 4th down. Washington going to send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the Texans will take over. 1st and 10 now for Mills and the Texans at the 34. Now Mills. Open man downfield is Duvernay. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Mills now looks to throw on 1st down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cox. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Burke. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. His 3rd rushing touchdown on the year, his 5th overall. And the Texans are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. Extra point splits the uprights as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. And Washington going to come back out here to take over offensively. This has really just been a lopsided affair. What a performance they put on, and now they get the football back here with a big lead in the 4th quarter. You know, in the past, we might be discussing dinner plans, talking about steak and sushi, whatever the case is, CD. This ball game is pretty much well in the books.
Yeah, we really could have started bringing up dinner a long time ago if we wanted to, partner. And I think a few of the guys out in the field already making plans for the evening.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And they'll run here with Gibson. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Taken down at the 41, 2 yards on the pickup. It's second and 8.
They'll run. It's Gibson. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. To throw on third down, Barnes. And that is incomplete. Washington going to send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. And looking up into the sun, he's able to make the fair catch inside the 20-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. To throw, Mills. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mills. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. Working out of the gun, Mills. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. The Texans send the punter out, standing right on his own 5-yard line. A beautiful fake. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Washington, the wins keep coming as this one moves them to 12-3 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Texans, the slide continues as they drop now to 3-12. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Dallas